Well, you can bet our next guest won't be invited to the White House anytime soon. He's the co-author of a sizzling new book, All the President's Women, Donald Trump and the Making of a Predator.
Barry Levine is also the former executive editor of the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
And you spent a lot of time doing a lot of research on this book. You've covered so many big stories. How much time did it take from the concept to the finished product?
Well, I mean, I was following Donald Trump for decades. In fact, I met him in Aspen, Colorado back in the late 80s, right at the time when he and Ivana and Marla Maples had their big to-do there, and it ended his first marriage and kind of started the public Donald Trump. So I followed him for decades. But serious reporting on this book took me a little more than a year or so, and I was happy to go and dig up all fresh new allegations and so forth. I think it's very important.
Okay, so what are we going to learn here? You said you dug up some stuff. What do we know now?
Well, we know that in the 2016 election, we had about 24 women who came out with accusations against him. And this book now shows more than 60 issues of sexual misconduct. In fact, I dug up more than 47 new allegations and so forth. There's a lot there. Even though there have been a lot of women who have been put under confidential NDAs, legal agreements, there's still many women who were willing to talk, brave women who were willing to come forward in this Me Too movement to talk about him.
And you freely use the word predator.
Yes, we do.
And the one part that I found very interesting is, do you find that this is nature versus nurture?
Well, I think with Donald Trump, we go back to his roots. We talk about him in the military academy, how his dad used to bring young women for him to parade around on campus with.
It started back then?
Yeah, way back then, yeah.
Predatory behavior didn't start back then, but in fact, his attitude about women started back then. I mean, he would disparage the girlfriends of some of his military academy classmates, calling them dogs and saying wolf, wolf, and so forth. And you saw how the book shows how he grew into the person he's become. And it's extremely troubling, particularly because all these women came forward before the election, and their stories for the most part were dismissed because he denied everything. And we also had instances of hush money allegations. And so it was important to catalog all of that and really look at, was there more to this? And I think in this present climate that we're in now, I kind of call it the Me Too 2, because we have the Harvey Weinstein trial beginning in New York. We have the Jeffrey Epstein FBI investigation going on. And with Donald Trump, we have 2 defamation lawsuits against 2 women who have sued him. Summer Zervos, a former contestant for The Apprentice, and a journalist named E. Jean Carroll. And both of those cases are moving along in the courts. In fact, on this past Friday, Donald Trump's lawyers tried to dismiss the E. Jean Carroll case.
Did you get a lot of pressure from the White House when it came to writing this book?
The most disappointment with this book was, in fact, that Donald Trump, who is so vocal about so many topics, would not comment on this. I sent an 18-page memo outlining 60 allegations to the White House this past summer. And while his press people in the White House told me that there would be a response, it was a complete wall of silence.
That's crazy. And he's been able to outlive this, right? It's taken the Me Too movement, took down so many people. Donald Trump is still in the White House.
He is still in the White House. However, as I said, there's 2 defamation cases that are presently making their way through the courts. And Donald Trump, in fact, has to give a declaration, a deposition in the Summer Zervos case by the end of this month. So we may be seeing new details that will emerge about his sexual misconduct, alleged sexual misconduct with women, because, of course, as we know, he's denied each and every instance.
Yeah, well, Barry, thank you so much. And you have a book signing tonight in Pasadena.
That's
and
correct.
Again, the book is called All the President's Women, Donald Trump and the Making of a Predator. And coming up, ready for a detox after the holidays, Lawrence?
Why did you? Oh my gosh, you just looked at me. Okay. Malou is whipping up something special in the Bay for a new you in the new year, right here on California Live.
I know you probably overate over the holidays. Come on.
Just a little.
Just a little tiny bit.
Now, Danny,